My name is Edache. I run a PR and branding company. We're into digital marketing and a whole lot of public relations. Dacheo Media and Branding. Well, I worked in the bank for a while, for 8 years, and I've always had a passion for advertising. I've always had a passion for sales and marketing. So working in Zenith Bank for about 8 years, I realized that there was more to life than banking for me. So I ventured into my personal goals, which is advertising and media. Well, I realized that there was so much vacuum when it came to people helping, or people with the businesses and how they could push out their businesses to people. Meaning that a whole lot of businesses were coming up, especially SMEs, but they weren't able to connect with people. They weren't able to take their businesses from where it was and to where they wanted it to be. Meaning that they needed people who can actually see the businesses that they run. And I realized that I had an audience that were dying to see what other people had. So I felt, okay, why not connect the dots? So yeah, so that led to Dacheo Media. The hardest thing, I think, will be for you to find a niche. I wouldn't say capital, because if you have capital and you cannot really solve a problem, you might not be able to make any headway. So for me, I think the hardest thing for any business is finding where you can be relevant, finding areas where you can actually make an impact. Well, to reinvest, I would say at least 60 to 65% should be put back into your business. Why? Because the more you put into your business, the more output will come out of it. So yeah, 65, 75% is good. Yes, I have. I feel challenges, especially in Nigeria, this part of the world, it's almost impossible for you to not experience a failure. But the important thing is acknowledging the mistakes you've made and bouncing back from that. Well, steps you could take, I would say you need to have a support system that works for you, and then you need to have people who you can share your ideas with, people who can also identify that this angle or this product or what you're doing is not the right path to go. And people like that would literally help you adjust and align your goals to make it more achievable. So, yeah. Wow. Now, client relationship, to me, trust me, there's some really difficult people that you tend to work with. But I always say that your relationship is how you handle it or how you interface with it. So at the end of the day, what matters is acknowledging what they want, telling them what they need to know, and then trying as much as possible to come to a meet point whereby they realize that, okay, you're also trying to be impactful to their business. And once they acknowledge or once they realize that, okay, you also mean well for them, you guys can agree at the midpoint area and you can move ahead from that. Biggest challenge, I would say, well, I wouldn't call it challenges, but I would rather say they're more of, it just puts me on the better understanding of the environment we're in. The challenges are not far-found, meaning that whatever it is that you're currently experiencing in your line of work, you can easily take steps to position yourself to resolve whatever challenges you're facing and move ahead with it. Well, I would say when you constantly keep getting same results, for instance, you're doing the same thing constantly, but you're not making headway. You're putting in so much money, and at the end of the day, nothing is coming out of it. Every other person around your environment is acknowledging that what you're doing is not appropriate. I feel a failed venture is when you yourself get a personal conviction that things are not working out, and then you move away from it. Well, for competitors, I feel we're in an industry where it's all about collaborations. And if you have competition in your market, what you could do is you could learn or pick out the thing that they're not doing and improve on it. What it does is it gives you the competitive advantage over them. So for instance, you have a brand that is doing similar stuff with you. You can also add some unique selling points to your own brand so that you're ahead of them and make sure that you're doing something they are not offering to their clients. Well, for every collaboration, I would always recommend that it's a win-win strategy for both parties, meaning that if you're going into any form of partnership or collaboration, make sure that you put all your ideas on a proper pedestal, and then you guys ensure that at the end of the day, not one party is left hanging. Both parties are happy, and you're all smiling at the end of the day. To a very large extent, social media has been rather, should I say, one of the most amplified platforms where whatever you're doing, especially when it comes to your business, you can amplify the conversations, you can reach out to people, unlike traditional media where you have to spend a whole lot of money to do TV ads, radio ads, banners, and whatnot. For social media, with your mobile device or your laptop, you can literally cut across to millions of people with the right kind of content. So for me, I feel social media has taken businesses and brands from ground zero to all the way up. So for me, I feel with the advent of social media, you can literally grow a business and reach out to a lot of people. Management of staff, it's not easy, right? Because you have your own objectives, you have your ideas, but with time I realized that different people, different backgrounds. So all you have to do is understand where they're coming from and let them know the general objective of the brand. And in that way, they can sync with you to achieve your goals. So managing staff, it's hard, but it's achievable. Well, if you're trying to pitch an idea or your business to investors, always make sure that it's somewhat beneficial to you, meaning that whatever investment that you're putting in, they believe that at the end of the day, because as an investor, they want profit, right? They want to be able to share the outcome of your business. So you need to make sure that you have your strategies right, and you make sure that the overall objective, which is to make profit for the investors, is being achieved. So when you're pitching your business to investors, let them not take total ownership of your business. Make sure that you're able to strike a bargain whereby at the end of the day, you still have access to your business and you can remit the profit to them at the end of the day. So for upcoming entrepreneurs, what I would advise them is be consistent with what you do. If something you're passionate about, put in work into it, put out smart goals, and also try and work as hard as possible to make sure that the goals that you set are achievable, and make sure that whatever you're doing, don't let anybody tell you otherwise. If it's something you're passionate about, try as much as possible to keep at it, and trust me, with God in the mix as well, you're sure you will make it true. My final advice for young entrepreneurs, it's not all rosy, right? But the truth is, if you're passionate about something, if it's something that you really want to pursue in life, I feel you're putting your best in it. Forget the fact that on the outside it looks all rosy. You need to put in work. You need to be able to set goals that are achievable. You need to work smart. You need to be able to put in the required level of work to get results from it. And keep doing what you're passionate about.